Tupac Shakur didn't just die in a hail of bullets on a Las Vegas street. He died at a moment when money was moving, contracts were shifting, and Death Row Records was falling apart from the inside. The world saw a drive-by shooting, but behind the curtain, some say this was a financial hit job, a corporate cleanup disguised as a gang dispute, with one man standing at the center, Suge Knight. Tonight, we're not asking who pulled the trigger, we're asking who benefited when Tupac died, and why millions of dollars pushed him closer to danger than any enemy on the street. By 1996, Death Row Records looked unstoppable publicly, but privately, it was financially collapsing. Lawsuits everywhere, IRS pressure mounting, distribution partners losing trust, artists complaining they weren't being paid, a massive payroll of gang-affiliated security draining the books. And Suge Knight, he was fighting to keep his empire from crumbling. He needed cash, fast. But the biggest financial problem was also the label's biggest star, Tupac Shakur. Pac generated millions, but according to leaked contracts and industry insiders, he was owed more than Suge could comfortably pay. And with Pac demanding creative and financial independence, Suge could comfortably pay. And with Pac demanding creative and financial independence, rumors spread that he intended to leave Death Row as soon as his 3-album obligation was complete. He had already delivered All Eyes on Me, Machiavelli, the Don Illuminati, completed. A rumored third project nearly done, meaning Pac was days away from legally freeing himself from Suge Knight. For Death Row, this wasn't a problem, it was a nightmare. Now here is the part most people don't know. Multiple Death Row insiders have said Suge Knight carried a massive life insurance policy on Tupac. Some say it was worth $5 million, others $10 million, but they all agree on one thing: Suge Knight was the sole beneficiary. Now ask yourself, why would a record label take out a multi-million-dollar life insurance policy on an artist who was heavily involved in gang conflicts, constantly targeted, and living a dangerous lifestyle? Because in the event of his death, Death Row gets paid instantly. And with Death Row sinking financially, the timing could not have been more convenient. The official story: Tupac, Suge, and their entourage beat Orlando Anderson inside the MGM Grand. A spontaneous jump, a random street fight gone wrong. But what if it wasn't random? What if Tupac was nudged into a confrontation that guaranteed retaliation? Because moments before the fight, Tupac wasn't angry. He wasn't even aware of Anderson in the casino. But Suge's crew pointed him out, and Suge, who was already facing jail time, knew that participating in that fight would violate his probation. Yet he jumped in anyway. Why? Some investigators believe it was because the fight wasn't the mistake people think. If Suge had just stood by and watched, Tupac would have been suspicious. Tupac would have felt that Suge didn't have his back. So he had to jump in, and he did. It was the trigger. The fight made Tupac a target, a predictable one, a sitting duck in the middle of a high-traffic Vegas strip, a perfect storm if someone wanted him gone. Let's break down the timeline with Nik Nak's cold forensic eye. 1. Tupac's bodyguards weren't with him. Suge told them to follow a different car, but why? 2. Tupac was riding in Suge Knight's personal vehicle. Even though Pac usually avoided sitting with Suge due to recent contract tensions. Why tonight? 3. Suge's entourage mysteriously lost formation just minutes before the attack. Witnesses said the convoy fell apart, unheard of for Death Row. Why the sudden gap? 4. The shooters pulled up unchallenged. Nobody boxed them out. Nobody perceived a threat. Nobody reacted in time because nobody was there. Why was Death Row security, normally aggressive, suddenly passive? All these accidents exposed Tupac at the exact moment a hit would be easiest. This wasn't chaotic, it was a professional Death Row hit. Let's list Suge's potential financial motives. Tupac leaving equals loss of hundreds of millions. Pac was forming Machiavelli Records, recruiting new artists, planning independence, ready to leave Death Row. If Tupac left, Death Row would collapse. Suge owed Tupac millions in unpaid royalties. Industry insiders say Suge couldn't afford to pay Pac what the book said he was owed. So removing Pac erased that debt. The life insurance payout. A rumored multi-million-dollar payout would give Suge immediate liquidity. Control of Tupac's unreleased music. Tupac had recorded over 150 unreleased songs. Death Row owned the masters. After Pac's death, those tracks became a goldmine. 8 posthumous albums followed his death, some of the most profitable releases in hip-hop history. Financially, Death Row benefited far more from Tupac's death than him being alive. Now here's the explosive angle you would love. What if Tupac's death wasn't about the Crips, Southside Compton, gang retaliation, or street beef, but instead a business decision, a deadly one, by a desperate CEO who needed to eliminate his biggest liability, his biggest debt, and his biggest threat. A staged confrontation, a planned vulnerability, a payout on the books, a catalog worth millions. A removal that solved every major problem Suge Knight was facing. Was it convenient, coincidence, or calculated? You decide. The truth is, Tupac was weeks away from leaving Death Row forever. His exit would have gutted the company financially. Suge Knight's empire was collapsing around him. My theory: the MGM fight was orchestrated to guarantee retaliation. Security was intentionally misaligned. The convoy opened a window for an attack. Suge was financially incentivized to let it happen. It was all a big setup. A perfect narrative cloaked in gang war, random hit, wrong place, wrong time. But behind the curtain, one man gained money, music, and full control the moment Tupac took his final breath. This wasn't just a murder. This was a financial erasure, a corporate chess move disguised as street vengeance. But what do you think? Was Tupac a victim of gang violence or a victim of a business conspiracy from inside Death Row Records? Drop your theories in the comments. And if you want more untold stories, more hidden agendas, and more industry secrets, hit like, share, and subscribe. This is Nik Nak News, where we expose what others avoid.